Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome to 3304. This is where I take a look at the news and happenings in and around Elite Dangerous. This week we hear more about Distant Worlds 2. Frontier have announced the end date for the beta of Chapter 4 and the Interstellar Bank is about to go live. Distant Worlds 2 is getting ever closer, and to highlight that fact, event organiser Dr. Kai has released a very nice trailer. This event is an exploration-focused expedition set in a vast journey across the galaxy with a fleet of well over 3,000 players. The journey will take a grand total of 20 weeks as players travel from the departure location to the destination of Beagle Point. As you can imagine, the expedition will be well-paced and will travel through a number of waypoints, the locations of which are yet to be announced. The journey is not just about travelling, however, and will have a heavy focus on the new exploration mechanics. There are also other plans to construct a space station within the Galactic Core region, mining operations, science projects, as well as a number of surveys. For anyone who was involved in the first Distant Worlds, they will be well aware of what an amazing experience it was. In fact, it was one of my favourite gaming moments of all time. To watch Dr. Kai's video, do check out his YouTube channel, which you can find through the link in the video description. Now, travellers on Distant Worlds 2 will be far from alone, accompanied by thousands of other players. However, they will also be accompanied in the form of Distant Radio 3305, a 24-hour broadcasting service that will coincide with the expedition. The station will feature music, interviews and other fun stuff. You can find out a lot more on the official forum thread. The Chapter 4 beta has been running for a number of weeks now. However, it is set to end on the 3rd of December at around 10 AM UTC. Frontier have stated that this is not a reflection on release date for Chapter 4, as this is something they have still not yet announced. It's likely, however, that official release is still a little way out. The final phase of beta has been focusing on the new Thargoid background simulation state called Incursions, and I made a video on that very recently. There's also a lot of other stuff to look forward to with Chapter 4. My favourite aspect of the update so far has been the new exploration tools, along with the new things to discover. However, there are also many other things, such as mining, squadrons, new graphics, and Thargoid invasions, plus more, that will be arriving before much longer. It's certainly been an interesting beta for sure, so let's hope for a smooth release. The new ship, the Mamba, was hit with heat problems from the moment it released to the beta servers. Of course, beta is a time to test these things and get them right, so with this in mind, Frontier was very quick to reduce the Mamba's heat levels. However, the speed of the ship, as well as its boost capabilities, have also been reduced. Overall then, the ship is now slower than it originally was. This has been highlighted by the community, who generally feel the speed was a good aspect of the ship. Now, Frontier have stated that they are willing to do another balance pass and consider bringing both the speed and the boost functionality up again. However, maybe not to previous levels. The downside of all this is that this change won't make it in time for release. Instead, it will likely arrive in the first patch update after release, so at least for the initial release, the Mamba will not be the fast ship that many people have been hoping for. The Interstellar Bank initiative for individual balance issues that I mentioned a few weeks back is about to go live very soon. This service, provided by a player group, the Lowlands Legion, is aimed at helping players achieve their credit-focused goals. Using wing missions, the Interstellar Bank is able to offer credits to players in need. Initially, it's likely the service is to be limited to very strict criteria due to demand. However, if you have interest in this service, if you feel you could need help with some credits, then you can find out more information on the Interstellar Bank Discord. The link for this is available in the video description. So, it's quite late in the day for this one, but I wanted to briefly talk about Steam nominations for the best games of the year. Now, I say it's a bit late, meaning that voting has literally just closed a few hours ago. However, I thought a few of you might be interested in seeing my nominations for this year. There are 8 different categories, including Best Developer, Labour of Love, Best Environment, Better with Friends, and many other such things. Now, the Steam Awards themselves will take place in February, however the nominations took place this month. Personally, I've placed Elite Dangerous as the best VR game of the year, as this is something it does truly well. I've also voted Elite Dangerous Horizons as having the best environments. For my other votes, including the best game and best developer, do check out the link I've placed below. So that then brings us to an end of this episode of 3304. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.